What's going on, people? So this right here, there you go, side of the box and whatnot, right? Should be a fairly quick review. I don't have a whole lot to say. Also, since these are fairly old, I feel like the new one is going to be coming around. I mean, I just saw the release for the Nimbus 26 is happening in like 3 weeks, 2 weeks. And these, the Kayano 31 or whatever, probably won't be too far behind. I'm guessing maybe a month or so, right? So yeah, because it's the middle of December now, so I could see the new one coming around in spring, so I don't really think I need to dwell on these too much. I feel like there's also been a lot already said about them. But let's go ahead and do some sort of review anyways. This right here is the Asics Gel-Kayano 30 in the Antique Red colorway. There's another word on the side of there, right? Ocean Haze. Ocean Haze is what I was looking for. Let's start this thing with the bottom. Down there, what you're looking at is basically a pretty standard outsole for this style of shoe, right? That's in like the Asics general shoes. They don't have a whole lot of flash and pizzazz, but functionality is good. Now, moving along to the midsole and whatnot, right? As you look at it, if you're like me, you might be thinking, I'm not really a fan of that look there, and I get it, right? I get it. But it is what it is, so take it in for what it's worth, right? Now, real quick, before we go getting you those other two pictures here, down here, right, I'm going to cover some things real quick. I think I said them all in like the last Nimbus video that I recorded, but that was like months ago. Who knows how that thing went. So there's a couple things in here, a couple buzzwords and whatnot. I'm going to fill in the blanks on those. Down on the bottom, you may have seen the AHAR. That is kind of like just like the outsole stuff, kind of like what you saw on like the bottom of React shoes and things like that, right? Gives it that extra durability, so if you're out there on the roads and all that nonsense, then these should hold up better over time than the things that had the previous version of AHAR. Standard upgrade types of things, right? Now, over here, the Pure Gel, right? So that's basically kind of like, the way I see it, it seems like what you have on the Air Maxes and such, or anything else very similar. So it's just a newer version of their take on the gel backs, right? Kind of like, the gel system. So this time around, it's just same as last time, just there to give you some shock absorption, right? Pretty standard things. Over here in the front, you have the FF Blast Plus. That's basically like the Flight Foam Blast Plus. So this time around, it doesn't say it, but much like much like these, it is going to be like the eco-friendly version. So it's made out of some kind of recyclable or whatever material, I guess. I don't know what the percentage is, and I don't think you care. Now, do you? But either way, you have that. Also, on that note, while talking about this, they said it's like 4 millimeters higher or whatever, which is a difference you totally notice when you're standing around in these. So just putting that out there. Last but certainly not least, on the inside, you have this 4D guidance system. So what that thing is doing for you is as you're running and whatnot, and maybe you get fatigued over time, this is supposed to step in and kind of help keep the stability in the overall shoe. So as you start to make like adjustments to your strides and such, this is supposed to help keep the stability and keep the ride going. So we'll see how it goes or whatever, but there you go. Now you're filled in. And now you're going to get those other two pictures that I was saying that I was going to hold off on because I'm done holding off on them, right? So as you see, this is basically just going to be an all-around knitted style sort of material, mesh or whatever you want to call it, in a pretty nice little burgundy maroon sort of color, right? Nothing too crazy. Nothing you haven't seen before on any other sort of running shoes, especially not from Asics. But anyway, so let's go ahead, move on, and we'll do... Actually, you know what? I was about to say we'll do the review part, but I feel like I've covered everything that would have really needed to be covered. I will say one other thing, as far as the way they did this whole midsole, like the construction of it and whatnot, they do have some reasons for switching it up from how the 29 was. So I'll put a link down in the comments or the description or whatever, so you can kind of see like why they did each piece the way they did it, because it was a lot of reading and I wasn't trying to do it, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't, but I'll at least nudge you in the right direction if you're curious. Now, the one other thing I will point out is that on the top of the tongue here, where you have this Asics logo, I just really like the way they did the materials on there. It gives it this nice sort of like cool satin type of look or whatever, super silky smooth. I'm just a big fan of that, And then lining around on the sock liner and stuff, you have even more of that. So it just makes for a really nice look. And it was the same thing like the Nimbus 25, and I want to say the Nova Blast 3 had it as well, but I can't recall off the top of my head. But anyway, so let's do some personal thoughts and then some sizing. Personally, these right here, they are quite nice, right? I got them in the mail and I was unsure about the color. It was like they only had so many at the time, and this seemed like the right one to get. And opening the box, I was like, oh wow, these are really nice. I was between this and something else. But honestly though, now looking at them, I'm kind of wondering like, I might give these to my brother and get this other pair instead, because as much as I like these, I think he would like them more because, you know, it's USC, that's where he went to high school or college in Columbia, South Carolina, right? So he'd probably be more attached to them, but it's a really nice color. It is. I don't want to not have them, but I just feel like as much as I like them, he would like them that much more, like I just said moments ago. But past that though, just like the overall look and presentation of these, I'm still not on board with like this super thick midsole. I mean, it makes sense as to why they did it, and a lot of shoes are going this way. Even the Ultra Boost 21 kicked it off like forever ago, and I still don't like that a whole lot, even there. But the functionality, you know, I can't really talk down on it. And it seems to be what's hot in the streets. You know, Hoka's also super huge into it, right? But either way, as far as these, just taking a look at them, I'm cool with it. And if you can find one of the 20 or so colors they have about now in your size and whatnot, I would suggest go ahead and checking them out, you know, because it's something that makes sense to have to me, you know, as far as a visual piece. Something you can wear anywhere, you know, casual if you want to. Take it to the gym, right? It's going to work fine there too. But let's get a little bit more into that piece of things real quick. You know, hit you with some sizing and all that stuff. And then, because you might also be wondering, like, what size should I even buy there, Tristan? I'm not 100% certain. And you might not still be after this, but we'll see what happens. Sizing wise, right? I bought these in a 9.5, which for me is a true to size fit. So what I would suggest to you is maybe to also consider that. Now, when I say true to size, I mean like I've had my foot measured in one of those little metal things at the stores, and that's what it's told me. Now, you could also just look at other Asics that you have, because they tend to fit, to me, all pretty much the same. Or other running shoes, you know. I've been buying these for a lot of things, buying this size for a lot of things, so just do your own comparisons perhaps. But moving on past the size of thing, because, you know, there's a lot of opinions and a lot of personal feelings that go into that, so I don't like to dwell on it. When you wear these, like once you do have a pair that you're going to be comfortable with, I think you can expect some good things, right? So I had the Kayano 29 for a good while, well, not a good while, but I wore it pretty in depth for like 4 straight days of Comic-Con stuff, and this is doing all the same stuff that those were doing, just supposedly better. So I'm expecting to have some good experiences with it. I've only walked around with it so much right now, just in the apartment, to make sure the sizing was right and see how they felt and all that stuff under the foot. So I'll have to give you like a full follow, well, not a full follow-up, but probably post a little quick video or something later once I've actually worn these a little bit. But I'm expecting some good things, right? And with the breathability that you have when you have like the standard mesh knitted whatever uppers, this is going to be something really nice to wear, especially if you're going to be working out or whatever, right? Now, obviously, as it's getting a little cooler in some parts of the world, maybe this isn't going to be the shoe for you at this time of year. But all in all, just kind of taking it and looking at it as just, you know, a standard approach to just throwing something on your feet. At the end of the day, this is something that I would suggest if the price is where you want it to be. These are fairly high on the retail, but Asics has sales like all the time. So just wait for a sale or hit an outlet and you'll probably find another discount too. Probably a stackable discount, if anything. On that same note, like speaking of stackable discounts, I just did like a whole unboxing of like workout clothes and stuff. This was in there and a bunch of other stuff. So keep an eye on those outlets, because like they'll have a sale in store, and they'll also likely have other things that you can stack on top, like student discounts or old person discounts. What do you call it? Senior citizen discounts, you know, things of that nature. Or like the, oh my God, it's Friday afternoon, let's have another sale. Like they'll have that on top. Next thing you know, you're getting stuff for dang near free. It's pretty awesome. from me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I'm done recording shoe reviews for a little while. Well, no, I'm not. We got another one to do like this week. So, I don't even know. I completely forgot about that. Oh well, whatever. Gotta go do some on feet now. Later, people.